Hi everybody, I'm here with my little lab assistants. Say hello, lab assistants.
Hi.
And we're going to help you do your visualizing groundwater systems lab. So if you have your lab kits, excellent. If you don't have your lab kits, you can watch along and get your information using this video to help you with it. So what you're going to need is the plastic cup from your lab kit. If you have any of your conical tubes, you just need one conical tube, empty, dried out hopefully. Again, if you don't have the conical tube, that's fine. You can use another cup. Your bag of sand, it's in your soil lab kit. The food coloring. A cup with water in it. This is just regular tap water. And your pipette. And your petri dish. Okay, I have an extra cup in here. I'm going to use this one instead of using the conical tube, just so that everybody's able to see the results easily on the screen. So I'm going to pour my sand into my container. Now again, you're pouring your sand into your conical tube. Doesn't have to go all the way to the top, but as far as you can go. So here it is. Okay, and I'm going to follow along with the lab in front of you. So it says take a clear plastic vial, fill it with dry sand, leaving it about 2 centimeters at the top. Again, you don't have to leave 2 centimeters at the top, just fill it as much as you can. This is going to represent a slice of the earth. So we're looking at the earth as if we are at the surface up here, digging down deep into the soil. So it's our cross section. We are then asked to slowly add water from the dropper along the inside of the vial. And while we're doing this, we're going to describe how the water moves. So I'm going to show it to you as I add it in, and you can observe how the water is moving when it enters into this aquifer. Now above, you can see what this is called. Aquifer. An aquifer is just a place where underground water is stored in the pore spaces in between the soil contents. So as you're doing this, you are going to complete question 2A. And then what happens when the water hits the bottom of the vial? So we're going to keep going. Try to speed this up a little. And what do you start to notice when the water hits the bottom of the vial? So this is going to take us a little bit of time. So I'm going to cheat.
Up. Forward.
There we go. It's starting to hit the bottom of the vial. Keep adding water to the vial until a puddle forms at the top. So I'm going to continue adding it until every space becomes completely saturated. And you know everything is completely saturated, meaning all the pore spaces have been completely filled with water.
Hello.
And when that happens, you start to see a puddle form at the surface. So I'll show you the little puddle forming at the surface of our soil. So now it says insert the pipette fairly deep into the sand and withdraw the water from the well. The water may be mixed with some sand, so put the mixture into a clean cup. This is the point where if you have this little cup available, this is kind of like a dirty cup. So I'm going to take my pipette, I'm going to squeeze the bulb, stick it down into my aquifer, and then I'm going to start to suck things up. And again, you'll notice, just like if you've ever been to the beach, you're going to suck up some water and some sand in the mixture. It's going to be a little bit difficult to get out of the pipette, so you're just going to have to try squeezing it as hard as you can. And then you're going to continue to add into that little well that you've created. So what we're doing and simulating here is a well that we are draining water out of. Okay? So we're going to describe what happens to the water level as we pump it out. And if you notice, the water level in the top, where I had my little puddles, starts to go away and starts to dry up. As I'm doing this, you're starting to see the sand dry up as the water is getting sucked out. As I empty those pore spaces. Another thing, and I don't know if you can tell, but the starting line from where I started with the soil was right here. And the soil has now compacted down to this layer right here. So what are some other things that could make water level rise or fall in the soil? And now we're going to go down to connections between groundwater and wetlands. So it says the bottom of your Petri dish is what we're going to use now. So we're going to take the sand out of your, remember yours is in a conical tube. We're going to take it out of your conical tube. And we're going to put some wet sand into the bottom of a Petri dish now. Carefully and without getting it all over. If you want, you can actually put a paper plate or a kitchen plate down so you're not getting sand all over your desk or your table. And, okay, so I put some in the Petri dish. It says the bottom of the Petri dish is going to be used as a model now. Dump some moist sand into the vial, from the vial into the Petri dish. Create topography. Topography is just like kind of mountain ranges and dips and changes in elevation that we see with the surface of the earth. So I'm going to create a little bit of changes in topography. I'm going to make some high places and some low places by adding some more sand. Here's my hill. I'm going to create a little divot here that can be a pond. Play around with that. Okay. So I made some changes in elevation. And then I made it so it slopes down into a little pond or wetland here at the bottom. Okay. It says pour some clean water from your cup slowly into the upper area of your model and landscape. I'm not going to pour it directly from the cup because we're using little Petri dishes. It might flood it, but I'm going to take my dropper and I'm going to make it rain. And if you notice that cute little hill that I had, oh,
It's starting to go away.
It did. It started to go away. It definitely did. So describe what happens and continue adding water to the land. Where's the water in the pond coming from? Why does the wetland form where it does? Okay. Then I'm going to insert the pipette into an area of the upland to simulate a well. Okay, so again, here's my little hill up here. I'm going to stick my pipette in, pretending it's a well, and I'm going to start to draw out of the well. Let me get this nice and close to the camera for you.
Okay.
And as I draw out of the well, what do you notice about the wetland in this area? Okay. What do you notice about the hole left by my pipette? What happens to the groundwater? Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to add a contaminant to the upper part of my well. So I'm going to take my food coloring, and again, be careful with the food coloring. It will stain your clothes or the surfaces around you or your fingers. Again, this is regular food grade food coloring. And I'm going to add a drop to my well. This is going to simulate a contaminant in the well. Okay, like gasoline or a pesticide, or anything like that. So what happens to the contaminant as it gets into the soil? Does the wetland become contaminated yet?
Nope.
We're going to see what happens. So, it says, insert your pipette back into the upland and draw out some water. Oh, describe what you see. Okay. Then it says, insert your pipette back into the well, which we did.
Wait, let me back in.
And we're going to try to pump out water. But before we do that, I want to show you what happens to if it rains. If it rains and that collects in this area, what do you notice happening to the contaminant? Okay. So now what I'm going to try to do is I'm going to try to fix the contamination by pumping the contaminants out of the well. I'm going to see if I can clean the wetlands that are below.
Yeah.
I'm going to draw out the contaminant. And I'm going to continue to draw it out and see if we can actually clean the groundwater in this Petri dish simulation.
I like what we're eating.
Okay. I'm going to continue drawing and drawing and drawing. If you notice, the water is still, hey buddy, very, very dirty. But my Petri dish is dry, so I can't clean up anymore. But if you look, our soil is still contaminated. So you can continue to answer some of the questions that are in this lab as we go through it. But if you look, and I dig it up and dig it up and dig it up, is the contaminant still present in the groundwater?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, so that's the simulation that you're going to go through. Now, this particular sand we do need to get rid of. We can't put this back in our sand sample. We want to try to leave this sand in your conical tube. It will dry out, and we're going to actually use it for another lab activity. So if you want to, you can just cap the conical tube and throw it back into the sand Ziploc baggie. But the sand that's in the Petri dish cannot be put back in there. This has been contaminated. We can't use this again. So if you would like to, you can cap the Petri dish and throw it out, or you can take the sand and throw it out your back door because the food coloring is safe. It won't hurt anything. And then the sand can just be incorporated in your yard with your regular soil. This right here can be all rinsed out. The cup can be rinsed out. Remember, there is sand in the cup. So if you want to, you can also throw the cup away. It's not going to be used along with the pipette. They're not going to get used again. So hopefully you had a successful lab.